This is a GCSE exam question about sampling. It says some students investigate the distribution of some plants growing in and around a shallow stream. They sampled along a transect line. So transect line, just remind us, where you might put a 30-metre tape, for example, across a stream, place different quadrats along that stream and sample the different species found in that stream. And you can see here we've got our results. We've got our different plant species down the left hand side, the different zones of the stream, and the distance along the transect in metres. The boxes represent areas where the different plant species were found. The questions then, well, question 1 says, name the one species that grew only in the driest conditions. So we're looking at the driest conditions for this transect across the stream. Well, the driest conditions is going to be where there's less water. So here it's saying it's marshy, we've got swamp, we've got aquatic, so all those areas are not really very dry. And then you've got the outside area, which is outside the marsh area here, all right, which is going to be the driest zone. And if we look at this left hand side, there's no species to be found down this dry zone. So on this side, the dry zone down this side, we've just got one species. We've got a box here for white clover. So our answer would be white clover, right, for the one species that grew in the driest conditions. Next question says only one species grew in the marsh, the swamp, and in the aquatic zones. So again, we're looking for one species that is spanning across the marsh, the swamp, and the aquatic zone. So we go back to our results. So we're looking for it spanning the marsh, the swamp, and the aquatic zone. So yellow iris is only marsh and swamp. Jointed rush, again, is just marsh. Red sweet grass, well, that's going for marsh, swamp, and aquatic. Common duckweed, well, it doesn't go into the marsh area this side, and it's not going into the marsh area this side. Broadleaf pondweed is in the aquatic and a little bit in the swamp, so not the marsh. And flowering rush is just in the aquatic, so not in the swamp or marsh. So the one that's spanning all three is reed sweetgrass, because we've got it in the marsh here, we've got it in the swamp, and in two areas, and it's reaching into the aquatic zone there. So the answer to this question then would be the red at the reed sweetgrass. Okay, final question says duckweed grows floating in water. What evidence is there for this in the students' results? So again, we've got to go back to our results, and we're looking at duckweed, and we're looking for evidence that it's growing floating on the water. So if we look at this diagram here, the water level goes from the swamp, all right, to the swamp. So that's where it's possible for that plant to float on the water. In the marsh, it's boggy, but there's no water for it actually to float on. So then if we follow that down, we can see the common duckweed is growing from the edge of the swamp to the edge of the swamp. So that's all the areas along here matches with the water in the stream. All right, so we can say that it's the duckweed is found in the swamp and aquatic zone. That it's only found in water. You can say it does not grow in marsh. Okay, so we've identified the evidence for that and clearly show that it only grows in areas where there's water. So the swamp, aquatic, and it's not growing in the marshy area.